Hi there. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I'm Catherine. It's more than just a little visit. I picked out my little visit card and I have some work to do. But this is the card I found. So it's a little visit while we work. How's that? I'm going to get started on a couple of new books. I found this one the other day and it intrigued me. It's called Fritzy. I can't remember whether I showed it to you or not, so forgive me if I'm talking as if I've never shown it, or else if I'm talking as if I assumed you know about it and you're thinking, where the heck did that book come from? I just thought it was pretty. I liked the color, this sort of dusky, old dusty blue. It's called Fritzy. The salutation in it, the dedication, is from 1909. Look at that, isn't that lovely? I believe 1908. 1908 is the publication date. And it's just a little storybook. It's the kind of book that they handed out, obviously, often for attendance and as awards at Sunday school. So anyhow, I loved the color of it. I loved the size of it because it's nice and thick, but this part isn't too big. And I think I liked the color because I have two different kinds of paper here I'm toying with using. I have some tea-dyed legal size paper that I just love, and I don't have much of it left. And I thought, maybe I should just go out with a grand hurrah with this paper that I love so much and actually just do a blue journal. I'm tempted. Or else I also have some paper here that is blue. It's naturally yellowed. It's just old paper, and the edges, I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but these edges are already naturally yellowed around there. And either one would look nice. I don't think they look nice together, so I don't want to mix and match. I think I have to make a decision whether to use this paper or whether to use the tea-dyed paper. Not sure yet, but I can decide that later, although I really am leaning towards this. Here's an interesting thing I'll show you. I've learned that when I hang my tea-dyed papers to dry on my laundry drying rack outside, if I can be patient and hang them up, if I leave them in the tray draining, even overnight, like I could soak them after dinner, then I tilt the tray, I do them in a jelly roll pan, baking pan, and if I tilt the tray so that the tea can drain all night long while I'm sleeping, when I get up in the morning, they're just barely damp anymore. And if I hang them over the railing halfway like that, I can get a really nice, beautiful fold on it. But if I'm impatient and I hang these papers while they're still too wet, it stretches them a little bit and you'll get some wrinkles, which I still don't mind because that also has character. But it's an interesting thing to note. If you're patient and just leave your draining paper in your jelly roll pan overnight and then hang it to dry in the morning, it'll dry very quickly because it's already been draining all night. I'll show you again on some others. Things like this just absolutely intrigue me. Hold on. Come on, you. Off the rack. Thank you. So here's some bigger ones. And I did the same thing. And you can see right here, you can see the ones that I folded over that rail too soon. And they were still stretchy. And these ones I hung halfway across. I waited overnight while they drained in the pan and then hung them. And look how nice those dried. And that is no ironing. This is just be patient and just leave them draining in a tilted jelly roll pan. It's very interesting. It's a new thing that I've started doing with my tea dyeing. Whether it will go on or not, who knows? But if I can soak some papers, right after dinner, and then, hold on, I'm putting these away. If I don't put them away now, all chaos breaks out. So soak them after dinner, drain the excess tea off at bedtime, and then leave the pan tilted so that it can still continue draining, because it really will. And then hang the papers in the morning. You get a nice result. So I've taken the text block out of Fritzy, and I think this poor little spine just looks so sad and faded and worn out, and I think it's nice and wide, and I think I'm going to do exposed signature threads. Even though I'm going to do a hidden hollowback spine, I'm going to do the faux signature threads on the outside with my gold. Hold on. I think that'll look pretty. So that's what I'm going to get started on today. Now I have to do it in 2 steps. Normally, when I'm doing a hidden hollowback spine, like I'm working on this one right now as well too, and I'm just playing with this in here, I have already prepared my liner. 2 pieces of cardstock glued together and wrapped around my doweling with my pantyhose, and you get that nice curve. This is my larger one that I used, my rolling pin doweling. I just wanted a hint of a curve, and it's a big spine. So if I'd used my small doweling, it just wouldn't have been nice. But I usually do 2 pieces together, and I was looking at this, and of course me and my by guess and by golly methods, because I want to do the threads through this spine, I think I'm going to have to glue in 1 piece of liner and then curve the next piece, do the stitching, curve the next piece of liner, and then glue them together and wrap them around wrap them around doweling in that way. Here, I've got one naked doweling. I'll show you what I'm thinking. Imagine I've put in a single layer of this. I've sewn in my stitches. I've glued in a second piece over the stitching. Then I think what I'll do is I'll just hang it on here and get the curve. That seems that's extreme. I may use my rolling pin. That's my plan. I guess we'll see. That's the adventure of junk journals. It's sort of like going on a road trip with my dad in the 60s. You really never knew how you were going to get where you were going. You eventually got there, but the route would be quite, interesting. So who knows where this route is going to take us. I need some more file folder. There. This feels a little lighter. I think I want this one. All right, so let's measure this out and see what we need. Maybe we can get some of this done. So it looks like it's 1 6/8. Looks like it's 1 6/8. Well, I'll write it here. 1 6/8, and then it is 7.5. All right, 1 6/8. All right, well, let's see. All right, Fritzy. I keep calling it Sadie. And I think it's because Sadie is the young lady who won it. So, in case you're wondering why is she calling that Fritzy book Sadie, it's just stuck in my head. Just giving myself a fresh edge. And then we said we want 1 6/8. So let's do it. Boy, we had a doozy of a storm here blow in this afternoon. It was something else. We lost our power for a little while. Not too bad. I'm feeling the need, and I haven't done one in a little while. And of course, you know me, I could change my mind at any moment. I'm feeling the need for this one to be a little extra frilly and lacy and floofy. We'll see. Oh, you didn't go all the way through. Oh, well, I don't need the bottom, so I don't mind. All right, and what did we say? Because I cut it off. 7.5. Seven and a half. I'm not even in camera. Sorry. It was terribly exciting. I was measuring off 7.5. Ah, jeepers. All right, let's get you done. That way we can get started. 1 and 2. There we go. Now, let's see how it is for size. In there. In there. Yeah, that looks good. Let's see. Now it's going to be curved a little bit. Yeah, good. Okay. So, I think I need to start a new bottle of Fabri-Tac. This is really down to the dregs. Fabri-Tac. Is that one open? No. Is that one open? I can't tell if it's open. Oh, now that's different. Look at the... Oh, I don't think I like that. I wonder if old ones will fit on it. I follow the advice of my crush. Hang on to your red lids. Wow, I don't like that. I wonder if this lid will fit on it. See what I mean? See what I don't like? I didn't notice that before. Look at that. Oh, that looks too small. Is this one Canadian? No, they're both... Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Duck. Please fit, please fit, please fit, please fit, please fit. You fit! Yes. All right, well, there we go. That solved that. And that silly bottle. So I don't need to get into my lost red nib stash, which I do frequently. And then I find them everywhere. All right, so let's get started here. Hold on, I'm just looking for a piece of paper to work on. There we go. All right, so otherwise this is prepped. I've done my edge, taken the edge off. Yeah, there's nothing more I want to do. This can go in. Now, because this is so thin and so old, I'm going to use my finger and spread this around. And I'll be sorry I did in a few seconds because, of course, it's going to be all over my fingers. But I have my baby wipe ready, so hopefully maybe I won't be so sorry. That's kind of dry. I want a wet one. There we go. And we got a few minutes. I'm not panicking on that. Fabri-Tac, although it dries quite quickly, you certainly have more time to play than you do with art glitter glue. And we're going to be sewing this together, so it isn't so urgent that the glue hold it down securely, because don't forget the faux stitching is going to go right through it. Let me make sure I've got that centered before I start pushing on it. That feels good. All right. Yep. All right. So we're going to have to do the curve in a creative two-step process. I'm just gluing that down. Do I want to glue that down? Do I want to? Hold on. Hold on. I might have changed my mind. Do I want to be able to? Yeah, you know what? I don't want that glued down. So I'm going to just let that air dry. Let that glue dry. Now, in the meantime, while that glue dries free and clear, you know what? I should explain to you what I'm thinking. I'm going to do the stitching, the faux stitching, and then I'm going to put a second layer in here, and I want to be able to put it underneath that. So and then I'll glue that down. So that's what I'm thinking, in case you weren't doing a good job reading my mind, which I was presuming you were. Now I need some graph paper. Hold on. Any old graph paper. I get this all the time at my thrift stores. You can hardly see the lines on there, but I can. And graph paper just makes this job easier. So I'm going to do 2 inches for the time being, and usually graph paper is in 1/4 inch increments. Now I haven't measured this yet, so I guess we're going to see. 4 there, 2, 4. There we go. All right. And then I actually want this the full length. Let's cut a fresh edge here. Go there to there. Oh, all right. Alrighty. Interesting. Let's cut you off. There we go. So now what it is I'm doing is from this side, if you recall when I did the the faux exposed signature threads on the Gilbert and Sullivan book. I used graph paper on the outside because I want to make sure that my threads are even. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just marking the center line so that I know that I can get it pretty well centered on this, and it helps to put something with grid marks behind your book too. So then you can pretty well follow. Okay, I gotta turn it. Follow your grid lines here and here, and that way I can see there's the center, so I don't have to draw on this old spine, this poor old spine. I mean, 1908, so what, 100 and I hate doing math. 112 years old. Wow. So then I would put this here and here, and then I've got to decide how I want to do my threads. Now I don't necessarily have to do the same amount of signature threads as how many signatures I'm going to put inside. This is purely decorative. It's just to make it look pretty. You know what? I should show you a picture so that you know what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me find it. Some of you might be going, what's she talking about? Here it is. Okay, so this is the spine from Gilbert and Sullivan, and see the exposed signature threads that went down the outside of the spine. That's what I want to do. Let me count how many I've got there. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 5, 6. So I've got 7. Oh, I think I can do that again. And that was pretty with the crisscross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got it. We got it. So now I'm looking at this again. In Gilbert and Sullivan, I actually did some gilding wax on it. No, I don't think so, because there's no gold here. No gilding wax. Okay, so I have to decide where I want this to come in. I just need some clips. So that pretty well fits. I don't need that fits there. Is that too high? It's a little high. Let's see if that's in there. There's my new little gold clip. And I love it. I've never had one of these elegant ones before. Alright, hold on, because that's not lined properly. So it turns out I don't need it fits in there so nicely, I really don't need this back graph, but I've done that previously, and also with little golden books. So now, how many did I do? I did 1, 2, 3. I did 4 groups. So I do, how long is this? This is 7 3/4. So if I do, they're going to be different sizes. Oh my goodness, I hate math. And I'm at 24 minutes. All right, if I come down and I start here, and then I come up 3, 1, 2, 3, and start there. How many is that? That gives me 6 1/4. I could do them in 2 batches. So I could do U to U. Oh wait, no, that's only 3. Oh. I'm presuming it's 2 inches. So this is 6 1/2. So if I do them in 1 1/2 batches, so 1, that's still 2 inches. Oh my goodness, Catherine. My brain is not doing the math today. Half, half, and then if I go half, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. There we go. And then that would be blank in there. And that would look all right. I could even do some sideways stitches through there afterwards if I feel like it. Okay, so I'm going to need holes across there and there. There. I hope this makes sense, what I'm doing. All right. Now I still want to make sure that I have it quite even, because you get one go at this, and if I muck it up, I'm going to be running lace down the end of the spine to cover up my mess. All right, now I want my little, this is my little pokey pad for when I am doing poking signatures. Now, which awl do I want to use? I don't want my holes too big. And I'm tempted to use a large needle instead of an awl. This one's pretty sharp. My son-in-law, who sharpens knives, this thing is pretty nastily sharp, but it quite quickly gets fat. Same with this one. Whereas this needle, see the difference? I think I'm going to try and go with a needle. All right, here we go. No guts, no glory, right? There we go. There's the commitment poke. It's done. So I don't know if you can see the graph paper, the lines. They're so faint because this is really old graph paper. Do you see that, what I'm doing here? So now I'm just poking my holes in ahead of time. And then it's quite easy to go in with your decorative thread. Well, the rain has stopped in time so that Sweetie Pie can barbecue me a steak for dinner. He can stay. So this way I can sew the threads. I can remove this paper and sew the threads in. And it's very easy. Alarm, really? Thank you. I got 1 minute. I can at least say my goodbyes while I finish poking here. I think the sun is trying to come out. It was like there were tornado warnings in some areas of the province. We didn't get any tornado warnings where I am. Now I may just hit record again and just for a few minutes sew these in. I think that's what I'll do. All right, I'm going to say goodbye here in case the next recording doesn't do so well. Hopefully you'll see how I do this, and if not, you'll see the finished product. So take care, everyone. I hope you're safe and well, and we'll talk really soon, maybe in a few minutes. Bye-bye.